I want to thank you, Mejid, for inviting me to ریچموندهیل and
Thank you
to
for
have
coming.
we just had a great roundtable. This is Economic Development Week, and so we really want to focus on what the federal government is doing in regards to investing in the potential that we have here. For me, specifically in Southern Ontario, but really there's RDAs, regional development agencies across the country that are making similar investments. And this is really about economic growth and demonstrating leadership across Southern Ontario and across the country. And we have real opportunities. We've seen in the budget that is just put out for 2023 a very strong industrial plan. When I look at Southern Ontario, I look at where we are in the EV space. We know we have a real opportunity, and the government is making significant investments with things like companies like Volkswagen coming to St. Thomas, with Umicore in Kingston, with Stellantis in Windsor. And really what we want to do is ensure that we are building on those investments so that we have end-to-end supply chains. Yeah. And that involves supporting smaller businesses and ensuring that we understand what their challenges and gaps are so that we as a government can step in and help support them so that they can thrive. And you've introduced me to, a number of folks here that have shared some of their concerns with us, which I find has been very helpful.
With the general backdrop of that, we relaunched the Budget 2023 about 4 or 5 months ago, and one of the major pillars of the budget was around clean electricity, clean tech, and clean economy, which we always say economy and environment go hand in hand. And within that, the amount of investment that we are making on a number of things, transformation of clean electricity, and also within the whole what we call as electric vehicles zero emission, which EVs are part of it. And today you've been into a number of facilities that they've been playing a major part in that different aspect of the supply chain. And here when we were talking to some of the PCB manufacturer as well as the semiconductors, what you are now seeing is that whole ecosystem, the whole supply chain. And as you're talking about, you're talking about that the Southern Ontario FedDev is playing a huge role because that's where most of the development, most of the extended supply chain is going to be.
We know that many people are suffering now with affordability issues. And the government is taking a position that these investments are so important because these investments are going to allow local businesses to create those high-skilled, good-paying jobs that are going to help families. So affordability is a real issue, but the plan that we have as a government is to make those strategic investments that lead to economic growth through the creation of good-paying jobs. And when you look at what is happening here, I mean, we visited ArcelorMittal, Tailored Blanks, who is doing such innovative work in the EV space, creating a better product that is stronger, that is lighter, and the federal government has made an investment, FedDev has made an investment of $5 million, which we announced together today, in order for them to keep up with the demand that they have. And the demand is there. So we really as a government want to ensure that we are supporting companies so that they can grow and create those jobs. 65 jobs are coming out of that, a particular investment. But in spaces here, like at MIS Electronics, we want to ensure that the supports are there so that they are operating to their full potential. They are enabling, we are supporting them in doing the research and development so they can bring their product to the next level, and that the demand stays here in Canada and that they not only produce for here but for around the world.
So the support of the federal government through the FedDev and specifically Southern Eastern Ontario is really part of the bundle that we make sure not only for commercialization, not only for products and services that's already rolling out, but also around innovation, around making sure. And really today was all about hearing from small businesses who are at the heart of innovation, and they're sharing their thoughts with us around what are the areas that they see opportunities for the government to be able to partner, what are the areas that they see from the government to be able to help that facilitation role to convening conversation among everyone, and where are some of the gaps? And those were really good
conversations. Yeah. I really like the idea that was suggested about ensuring that there's a space for conversations to happen so that opportunities are seized. And that means recognizing where the gaps are. So have a conversation that enables us to do that. And then I think the other point that's so important, and Saeed, I think, is really saying this, is when we are making these investments, we want to make sure that we are securing the jobs of the future. Not just for tomorrow, yes, but for generations to come.
Yeah.
And that's where the federal government is really focused on what are those jobs that are going to be here not only for your and my grandchildren, but for our great-grandchildren. And so this is why we have to be at the cutting edge. We have to be leading the way. Yeah. And this is where clean tech, the environment, all these things are so important as we move forward. Canada, I think, is
and that's why this budget 2023, it was so important, and it was so well done, because it in one aspect, under one of the pillars, it really dealt with the affordability issues, which is the problem of today. And then they came and they talk about what are some of the midterm around, whether it was around mental health or whether it was on dental care. And then they came around innovation and about clean electricity, clean tech, which is really the generation of the futures. And this is why this budget, among all the other budgets, but this was a budget that not only thought about the challenges that we have today, the areas of affordability, but around bringing other aspects of health to it, and also setting up us for success for the next 50 years, making sure that we are the leaders, not only in Canada, but also in the world.
Absolutely. And I think here I have to say, there's a real richness in ریچموندهیل, and you have brought me here to have a sense of that, to see the ability here for so many of your small and medium-sized businesses that really are eager and anxious to take it to the next level. And you're a real champion for this community.
So I'll be remiss if I don't ask you about the Persian food that you've had today. What did you think about that?
Well, I tell you, I couldn't resist. I'm sold, and I can't wait to come back and continue to experience this amazing community.
MIS was very kind enough to serve Persian food.
Yes,
and it was
great.
Excellent.
Thank you. Excellent.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.